Full screen.
These shits are mad dirty.
We got the shades.
Yeah.
We live on Twitch and YouTube for episode 13 of the Billy Boys podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Something I do.
Shit. How was your week?
I'm pretty good. My son's birthday next week, so he's turning 5. Shout out to Levi.
Yeah, shout out to Levi. We just kicked it today with him too. Wow.
Went down to the arcade. Some arcade going.
Yeah.
Last time we went there was
What, a year ago? For your birthday?
Was it this
No.
That was a year
We
ago.
no, a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
the place is pretty sick.
yeah. I mean, I liked the food when we went there, but I told you that woman, she's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, can I get chicken tenders?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." And then also she came back and she didn't bring them. And she's like, "Everything all right?" And I'm like, "I need my chicken tenders." And she's like, "You didn't order them." I'm like, "You rolled them down." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh." But I thought the food was pretty good.
Yeah, the food wasn't bad. I want to try that place across Dough.
Dude, like I said,
You said the pizza was good there, right?
Yeah, I went there for my wife's. After she got out of work, her and a bunch of it was one of her employees was their last day, so they went there and it was like, pretty sure it was stone fired, a brick oven?
Yeah.
One of the two, but yeah, it was mad good food.
Right.
Pizza. My son even ate pizza with half the time he says no, but he actually tried it. He wanted to bring home just the crust. He ate
Yeah.
the crust and he's like, "Yo, no, don't throw that away." He's like, "I want my own pizza box." So he's like, so we had to take a at home, take box. So, so my wife put it in the fridge, and I'm like, "It's pizza crust." I'm like, he's not even gonna eat it. So I
And
ended
it's
up
gonna be
throwing
hard
it
as a
away.
bitch too.
Threw it
That
away
should
like
sit
2
in the
days later.
fridge.
I'm like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
there's a place I want to go back and try. It's called Frank Pepe's. There's one in the Burlington Mall, and then I forgot what the other one is. I think it might be Connecticut. I'm not sure,
Is
but
it Burlington, Mass, or Burlington, New
Burlington,
Hampshire?
Mass. And then there's a Burlington, Vermont. I don't know if there's a Burlington, New Hampshire though.
I don't think so. I've only
But
been to
Burlington, Vermont, I think, I think is nice. I think that's where you ski.
Yeah,
It's like the mountain area. Well, even though Vermont's pretty much all mountains, but
it's right up on the border of New York. It's like literally right on the water, and you go across. We went there a year ago, and we went to the Ben and Jerry's up there. It's not in Burlington, but the original Ben and Jerry's is actually in downtown Burlington on
Yeah.
Cherry Garcia Street.
oh really?
Flavor Cherry Garcia.
Oh yeah.
And went to that, and then we went to the Cabot cheese that was over there. Cabot cheese is amazing.
Oh, that's over there too. I didn't know that.
But they have like a
I'm not a real big cheese guy though.
no.
No, like eating it like that, I can't. Like cheese and crackers and shit. Yeah, but like those crazy ass like smorgasbord fucking crazy looking cheeses. Like, not only do I not fuck with cheese, like it's just too. It's too loud for me, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is like strong, like cheddar and shit. Like that's anything above that, it's like whoa. Like even those, those. Fuck. Red Cow, right? What the fuck are they?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what the company's called. Fat Cow, fucking Red Cow, Silk Cow, whatever the fucking.
It's got that red wax on it.
That weird, yeah, dude. Every time I'm always like,
Waffle
yeah, those.
Cow?
No, that's ice cream. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
But we're getting close. Maybe it'll pop in our head later. But dude, even those, like I always open it and it looks good. I'm like, and I'll take a bite and then I'll be like,
Be like
here you go,
string cheese,
Scrappy.
huh?
yeah, because you can mad thin, like softly take like a little like hair pieces off, like fucking
I feel you.
anything too big. It's like pause. But
It's funny because we went to the because I used to go up there for my grandmother used to live in Underhill, and we used to go up there and go to Ben and Jerry's, the Cabot cheese place, and then we were like, we're in Vermont, we haven't seen any cows. Vermont's known for cows, so we were pissed. So we're like, let's go drive around and try to find some cows. So we drove around. Still, we went by farms. There was still no cows out. We're like, what the hell? So I'm like, oh, there's another Cabot cheese place in Cabot, Vermont. So we drove up there, and still no cows. I was pissed.
Damn, you're pissed.
I'm like, yo,
you guys are
where
pissed.
the fuck are these damn moo-moos, right? So, finally, what the fuck are these damn moo-moos? So, instead of it taking us White River Junction back, like down through Vermont into New Hampshire, it wanted to take us through, because we went north, it wanted to take us through and then to the top of New Hampshire and then drive straight down. And that 20 minutes going north in Vermont, fucking 500 cows, bro. We're like, found them.
Yeah, I got it.
Found the fucking cows. But,
made up for the lost time with the moo-moos.
Because, I mean, my grandmother used to have a giant cow, like, statue in the front of our lawn. So, like, whenever I think of cows, I think of Vermont.
Yeah.
But Burlington's very weird. I went there and there's like some science museum for kids we went to. And there's a couple good restaurants, had good craft beers and stuff. But they had a very strict tobacco law. You can't smoke on the streets in that city. You can get arrested.
What do you mean on the What do you mean on the streets? Just like anywhere
smoke.
In public?
Yeah, on the streets in Burlington.
The fuck?
Or at least downtown.
So where are you supposed to legally smoke a cigarette over there?
I guess in your home. Because when I used to smoke
that's
cigars
fucking weird.
They used to have all the guys. I was on a Facebook group called Cigar Aficionados, I think. It was like brother and sister of the leaf. That was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yo, we want to meet up, but there's no cigar lounges in Vermont. And like where we're from. So they would drive to New Hampshire and like hang out and like smoke cigar meats and stuff. And I'm like, where you guys from? They're like, we're from Vermont. They're like, can't smoke inside anywhere. My wife won't let me smoke. My buddy's wife won't let us smoke. He's like, so we have nowhere to smoke.
Yeah, that's weird. So I wonder if they enforce with like a citation or they actually like arrest you. And what's the reason for that? I don't even get it.
I think it's just like a cutback on tobacco.
I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, so I wouldn't give two shits, but...
I'm just trying to think. Back in the day when people used to smoke inside restaurants and stuff, there's like a select few that still allow you. But like,
has to be a private place.
You're just like... you're like eating, you're like, oh God.
There's an episode in The Sopranos where the lady's like telling her to put the cigarette out, and she's like, it's a free country. And I'm like, well, that's about to change in a fucking couple of years, bitch.
Yep. What was it? Was that the 90s or the 80s?
When the show was out, the 90s.
No, like when it's like, what time period? Was it in the 90s?
It might even started in 2000. I'm not sure. Let me look that up real quick.
I wonder what the time frame, right? Like, like The Godfather was in the 70s into the 80s, I believe, but it was set in the earlier 1900s.
Oh yeah, so January 10th, 1999. So it wasn't the 90s, right? Right at the end of the 90s.
Though, right?
Yeah, the first episode.
But what was it? But was it a current time that it was
based
on?
It was like New Age Mafia in New Jersey, which a lot of it held a lot of truth to like actual people and how mobsters moved, because to this day I'm pretty sure they're still in the garbage business, and that's what the show is about. So it's not like, it wasn't unrealistic like some shows where you're like, all right, in real life you'd get caught. Like, no, they actually did a pretty good. That's literally my favorite series besides Sons of Anarchy.
Remember that video you showed me where the guy was trying to record inside the restaurant? Some dude walked up on him.
Oh,
Yo,
dude, the live stream.
that was crazy.
I,
Where was that?
we
Was
should
that
do
New
more
York?
research. We should do more research. No, Naples, Florida. Remember? Remember? I told you I paused the video and I saw it said, you know, so blah 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 restaurant, right? And so I googled it, and
In Florida?
it's in Florida, in Naples, Florida. Well, I'm sorry. So I googled it, and it's a fucking authentic like Italian like place. Like it looked like really fucking like bougie. So I'm like, all right, that's already a sign. And then it says Naples, Florida, which I've heard is, you know, commonly known for where sometimes I heard that. I heard Federal Hill in Providence and shit like that, where like mobsters go to like, all right, like let me open a restaurant, and fucking chill, you know. So I'm like, everything makes sense, but I don't, and I'm not talking shit because the guy could very well be a real mobster, but like he was like, you're fucking with the mob, so like
Get
you're
outta
fucking with
here.
the mob, get out of here, you knock on. I'm like, I'm not saying they can't get that aggressive, but like I don't think they just come and say like, yo, like I'm the mob, like that's not. They don't want you to know that shit, first off. And second off, like, you're not gang banging. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's big Crip over here, big blood. Like, nobody's like, yeah, I'm big mobster, Italian mobster. You're like, what? Like the whole point of being one of those guys is to not really like say that.
To lay low and
Yeah, but I don't know. Yo, what's good in the Twitch stream? What's good, Nick? How we doing, bro?
what up, what up, what up?
Yeah, but I don't know. I want to do my research on that, but I saw it a while back, and then I don't know. I think I saw it again, and that's when I showed you.
Yeah, 'cause
But
I was like, that's
it's
crazy.
interesting.
He's like, yo, you gotta get out of here. And the guy's like, oh. And he's like, yo, like, now. And he's like, all right. And he's like, yeah, but you're still here. It's now. And the guy's like, yo, like,
Yeah.
say less. He starts going down the street. He's like, holy shit, bro.
We got to get more context on that because
That'd be crazy.
it's like we got to see who the streamer is too. Like maybe he pissed them off. Maybe he told him not to do something. He kept doing it and then came back or
He
whatever.
was doing a bad food review or something. Or maybe that's
Yeah,
what
but
he thought. Maybe the guy thought he was like,
Still, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be a like
something to have somebody like that come out.
an issue. Yeah, I don't. First off, if he's moving like that, you know, this is a fucking monster. Like, the last thing he's gonna be mad at is a food review. He's gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. I sell fucking heroin out of the back of this place. I don't fucking even care about how the food tastes. Like,
Plus,
so it's
they
like,
always say, you know, bad publicity is good publicity.
yeah.
It's like,
He said,
have people come check your place out.
remember, he's like, I got 30 calls about you. I'm like, 30 people fucking called you about a dude live streaming in your restaurant? Like, that seems very fucking, like, unrealistic. But, hey, whatever. I'm
Prove it didn't happen.
also not fucking talking shit. And he fucking sees this and he's like, "My mom's there." And the fucking comments, I'm like, geez, this guy again. You gonna whisper in my ear?
He's like, I
He was mad close. I'd be like, yo, back up. You want me to leave? I'll leave. And he's like, let's get out of here. I wonder if he looked like he was like he does that on the regular. The dude that was live streaming.
Yeah, he looked like he had his setup all done up and everything. Like,
Yeah.
pretty sure he was in the middle of setting up. The guy's like, yo,
Well-
get out of here now.
Well, like I told you, when I was at Encore this weekend. Happy birthday, Meg. We were celebrating her 30th, and we what the fuck was that? Why was I saying that? I'm gonna. What were we talking about before that?
Old guy.
Oh no, live streaming. I'm like, what did that have to do? I went to that too, and I'm like, how are these correlating? No, live streaming. Sorry. It's been a long weekend. I was live streaming, like I told you, and it was like ending randomly, or like ending after like 15 minutes. I looked back and like it was like 7 minutes, and then there was like a 6 minute, and then like a 3 minute because the 3 minute I turned off because I was like, let me enjoy the night and not like be streaming and fucking be a loser. But yeah, no, I also wonder. I'm like people who do that shit. I was like, I wonder if they have like a separate camera. You know what I mean? Like somehow because I know Aiden Ross did not tried. He did a few IRL streams at like Universal and downtown LA and shit, and he had like he said he bought like a couple grand worth like of some equipment where like it's just in his backpack and it's like a camera and shit like that. I was like, damn.
Shit.
I'm like, that must be sick. But
It's pretty cool.
well,
Just on the go, have everything all ready to go, pop it out. I remember when we went to Best Buy and that dude had his drone. He's like, you just walk around with a backpack with your drone in it, and you're just like, yo, look how sick this is. And just like, I can just imagine him like taking it out and just like throwing.
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I pictured the same thing. I picture me being like fucking taking it out of my book bag, setting it down, like testing it a few times over grass, and then being like, all right, let me like get a shot. No, okay, bring it down. Yeah, the fucking pros are like, fucking, dude, that dude's shots he took, I mean,
Crazy.
he was feeling himself a little too much at one point, but I mean, shout out to Homeboy for the confidence, but he showed me every fucking drone picture he had in his fucking phone that he took.
Yeah, he's like, but look at these ones, and we're like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like, this. He's like, and then this. I'm like,
But no, I mean, you could do that. Like, say you pulled up somewhere and there was like a big fire, you'd be like, oh shit, and just throw it out and just go over there and be like, oh shit.
fucking falls in there. But I don't know if you heard him. We were talking about like the crazy ones, like the crazy expensive drones, and he's like, oh yeah, the so and so whatever. He's like, it has this kind of camera in it. He goes and I'm like, I was like, yeah, I'm like, dude, I could never get that. I'm like, $2,000, fucking $3,000 drone. I'm like, I drop it in the fucking water. And he's like, he's like, if you buy a HyperX, for example, he's like, they replace it. Like,
Really?
you have insurance on it. I was like, yeah. I was like, holy fuck. I'm like, that's good to know. I'm not saying I'd just be careless, but I'm just saying, like,
It's good to know if you get.
dude, even if you get half off, imagine like you pay $1,000 for one, and if you trash it, and you have proof, I guess, and you get pay like $500 for one, like even that would be better. But yeah, I do want to get one, but I tried when they first came out. My neighbor Shy, who actually is my neighbor up the street now, randomly, he had one, and I was trying to drive it, and I fucked that. No, I didn't fuck it up, but I was fucking like, I'm like, all right, here, take this back before I break it.
You see those guys go in like warehouses and they're like skimming through like beams and rafters.
Bro,
How are you going that fast through that?
imagine whipping one through work, Bigsby. Like if you knew what you were doing though, you could get some ill fucking shots, bro.
Pedro has one.
And just sneak up on you on one of the lines.
Pedro has one, and
So does I think Tony does, but Anthony, I think.
Anthony, the engineer.
Yeah.
And Pedro said that he's like, because of where he lives, he's like, I'm in the no-fly zone of the, because you can't do it near airports and stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason. I don't know why it sounded like I was weird. There's like
Pedro's not near an airport.
in Lawrence?
Yeah.
There
He's
wasn't
not that close.
I think even like those small airstrips and stuff. There's like no fly zones.
But so Pedro said where he lives he can't fly a drone.
I thought that's what he said. Yeah. He showed me like.
Bro, that's I mean, Pedro's a smart man, so I'm sure he fucking knows that it's true. But yo, that's crazy because Josh, he is not that close to the airport. It's called the Lawrence Airport, but it's It's in fucking in North Andover, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll even give him a block and a half, right?
No, there's like a when you hook it up, there's like an app, and it shows you like where you are, and it pulls it out, and then shows you like. I swear to God, he told me that he was in a no-fly zone. I'm like, really?
Like that's an 8 minute
But still,
drive,
you
bro.
can't be up. You can't be in the sky that close to a airport. If you have a plane coming down, freaking end up hitting it. You know, you're going like their airspace.
That's crazy.
Not that you're gonna drive it near the airport. You can't be in the air around where something can land. So I was like, crazy, and he's like, yeah. He
That's
said he has to
crazy.
drive. He said drive places to go use it, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's whack.
dude, just sit on your porch for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Don't go up high, but
I don't know what the
he probably wants to go up mad high. That's why.
take like full panoramas of like the city.
Yeah. Um. All right. So I heard something in the news this week, right? So I don't know if you know Nori. He's a rapper from New York.
Nori,
Nori
no,
Noriega.
might have heard music, but
Honestly, I'm not that familiar with the shit. Like I've known about him my whole life. Like I've heard him in people's shit, but I never really like seen or heard like a lot of his original shit. But whatever, he has a podcast that, and I just found out that like it was a podcast, and it's his podcast on I think it's Revolt TV, but it's called Drink Champs because I've seen a bunch of clips of it. But I thought he was just chilling with them. He's got like, all the fucking champagne bottles and fucking tequila and shit. And he has like French Montana, fucking 50 Cent, Kanye, and shit like that. And I seen one of the clips and The Game was on it. You know who The Game is, right?
Yep.
The rapper. Bro. He said that he got harder bars than Eminem and that he could beat him in a rap battle.
I want to see it.
I don't know, bro. When he said that, I was like, yeah, I love the confidence, but, and I'm not even that big of an Eminem fan, but you fucking killed it, bro, in my opinion. But, so for the most part, because people are stupid in this world and on the internet at that, so they were saying, because again, people are stupid. When you hear this, I would fucking put them on blast too, because they're like, "Oh well, Eminem sell more records than you," and he's like, "Bro, I'm not saying that."
Yeah.
And then he also came out to say that he's like Eminem. He's like, he's like the record labels wanted him to blow up, so they chose him, and he listened to what he's supposed to and did what they said, so they made him big. He goes, I dealt with that shit. He's like, I was on record labels, in the buildings, in the meetings. He's like, I know how they fucking, he's like, they fuck you up. He's like, they fuck you over with, just signing and shit. Like, they don't let you do what you want to do. They do shit a certain way. He's like, I cut the strings a while ago. He's like, from them fucking playing me like a puppet. And he came out to say a bunch of shit that he was like, I've never came out and said this. He's like, because I didn't want to waste my time with it. He's like, the record labels are all scumbags. He's like, they're there to fuck you over, and it's shady, and they do shit behind the scenes and shit. And he's like, and Tupac called him out, and look at him, he got killed. And then who was the other example he used? I forgot who it was, but he was like saying that, like, he's like, Eminem only sold more records because he wanted to bow down to a record label. He's like, I figured out real quick, not to do that shit.
Well, even seeing, straight out of Compton, how like the whole thing going on with
Exactly.
NWA and how Ice Cube, see Ice Cube come through and be like, "Yo,
That's 100% all true.
He's like,
That's
"You wanna
all
take my
true.
money?" He's like, "Good." Smashed everything in his building, and he's like,
Yeah.
smashed all of his platinums, gold, and he's like, "These are my records." He's
It's
like,
true.
Take it out of what you owe me. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit. And but that's crazy. I actually saw something about Eminem, and I mean, you already know 50 Cent. He says that Eminem is one of the best, if not the best rapper out there. He's like, and people don't like it because he's white. They're like, yo, they're like, somebody that's white is taking over a more, a more black genre of hip hop. He's like, they just don't like it. He's like, so people gave him so much shit when he came out. And I saw something that Eminem said. He's like, yo, when I used to rap battle people, he's like, I wasn't even really that good. He's like, I was just fast at rapping. He goes, everyone that I was battling slow. He's like, but people would vote for me. He's like, because they're like, I've never seen somebody rap this fast before. And I was like, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can see his story. He's got that come up, coming from the trailer park. Came out. He even, he had that whole thing going on with MGK. And I'm like, that thing's definitely staged. It's
Yeah,
definitely
probably.
staged. Then all of a sudden, MGK just jumps genres. Goes from singing like hip hop, coming after doing friggin' diss tracks, and then he goes right into freaking pop music.
See, people can't. A lot of people can't accept that Eminem is a good rapper because he's white, and some people who are fucking ignorant as fuck and just can't accept it say that he's like, it's like a stolen culture.
Yeah.
And it's like even Tyron Woodley, the first time he was gonna face Jake Paul, and they sat down and had like the Showtime like fucking nice quality like documentary thing. And they were like sitting across from each other like talking shit, and he's like, that's my culture. He's like, how many people that you grew up with in your neighborhood wear chains like that? Because he's wearing like a diamond chain, and he's like, oh, and he's like, exactly like, you stolen culture. And I was like, what? I'm like, where does it say you can only be one race to wear this kind of chain? Like, what? You can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Same with like people that get lined up in fades.
I'm like, and how many people in this neighborhood are wearing gold fucking chains? Probably nobody. He grew up in Ohio. Like,
where does he live now? Doesn't he live in? Where does he live now?
Who?
The Paul brothers.
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're like, how many people in Puerto Rico are wearing gold chains?
Yeah, like, but like, it's just like he's a fucking idiot. It's like there's no culture for none of that. Like,
I think it's just jealousy.
Yeah, no, it is. But yeah, but so if you had to choose, who do you think would win?
In a rap battle between
The Game
are we talking
and
prime
Eminem.
Game, prime Eminem? Or are we talking now?
Talking right now.
Like, who do I think I would pick, or do I think everyone would pick? Like, who do you think would be the winner out of everybody?
No,
or-
who do you fuck everybody? Who do you think? Because obviously everybody's gonna say Eminem. Not everybody. There'll be I'll say a solid 35%
It's like Game.
of the Game, just because of newer age, in LA. LA is huge, and man, I am voting for that white boy. You know what I mean? Because again, they can't accept it.
Yeah. But no, I think Eminem would win just because
He definitely would.
he's a great rapper. He's got, not saying that the Game isn't, or that the Game didn't put in work, but it's like
He's gonna listen to this, bro. So better watch out.
coming after
Fucking blood stomp you.
Jesus.
What up, blood?
What up, blood? I'd say Eminem, but it's just because I think he's a great rapper. I think he's more, his mindset with his rapping, and he can just on the spot. Like, he's probably like the number one person that just come off the spot and just keep on going. Any track, any topic, he could just go off and just keep going. Lay down some fire. He'd probably fucking wreck him. He probably knows mad shit about the Game. And he would probably just fucking completely just destroy him. Where I feel like Game would be like, coming after him, doing what everyone else does. You know, even like in 8 Mile, where they just all they do is be like, "Yeah, bro, you from a trailer park, like you white trash." Like, okay, man, like I think that's the only thing they'd come at him for is his
Yeah.
race and how he
Yeah.
grew up. When like Eminem would probably come after him, like, "Yo, like this is the drama you had. This is." I feel like he'd actually keep it like professional, where it's like I feel like the game would come after it personal. But
Yeah.
I definitely think Eminem would win
Nah, me too. I just don't like people who rap fast. I'm not a fan of it.
because
Um, I have
just the style.
ADHD. My brain is fried, and it's too much for me.
To,
I'm not
to
gonna lie.
like
That's why I respect J. Cole and shit like that. But I just and I would like that. Like some of J. Cole shit's slow enough, but when it's fast, it's like, bro, I'd rather listen to people who sound stupid.
I feel like I mean, like when I listen to songs, I try to grasp the lyrics and grasp what they're saying. But I feel like you're a lot more like there'd be a brand new song to come out and like you already like memorize like half the words. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, how do you know how do you remember all those bars? And yeah, when people are fast like that, you're what did he say? What did
Yeah,
he say? But when people have that drill, a lot of music you listen to, where it's like you can actually understand, and plus, you being from Lawrence, I feel like you have an understanding of more of what they're saying, of like that type of life, things that they've seen. I feel
yeah,
like I'm more like Eminem in the trailer park. I'm more like Eminem. You're more like the game.
yeah. For real, you are from pretty much the trailer park.
I lived right outside the trailer park.
Yeah, you're from the trailer park hood at
Trailer
least.
park. Hey.
So that's bad funny though. But yeah, I think Eminem would win too. Um, but yeah, but
Word.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming by.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you
guys
for
enjoyed the
listening.
episode 13.
Yep. Lucky 13.
Lucky 13.
Hopefully,
Also, it's a Friday. I'm like, not Sunday.
hopefully we retire off this episode. Let's go.
Hopefully, let's go. Run it up. Run it up.
Yeah. Make sure you show some love on YouTube and Spotify, and you already know what it is.
I already know what it is. And with the bell.